Hi YouTube, it's me Giovanni, and I'm back with this video. This is ridiculous. It snowed. I'm in the Georgia area, as many of you guys know, and I can show you guys snow. It's not that much. It's starting to, it's like, what is the temperature right now? Although I'm like an hour away from Atlanta. Let me show you guys. Okay, so the temperature just went up. It's like 27 right now. When I first woke up around 8 o'clock, it was 19. So this is this ground. I'm showing you guys what the ground looks like right now. That's what the ground looks like. Not that bad, you know.
Mama!
We can deal with the snow.
Mama!
Yes, Carson.
Snow!
Yes, no. Okay. But the reason why I'm making this video is look at this news bullshit. Everybody's saying, we know the snow's not the problem, it's the ice. But even the government saying they wasn't prepared, blah, blah, blah. They were not prepared at all. Listen to this.
Scenarios into play. You know, this is, I think many people remember in 1982 we had a similar event where many people were trapped like this, trying to get home from work and had to do a lot of walking. So, but you always try to take into consideration any type of options that might have to do or any kind of scenarios.
All of this
those are always taken
because
yesterday,
they didn't want to stop the roads. They said it wasn't a problem at first. Now they're blaming the National Weather Center, saying that it wasn't as bad.
The delay of us getting out there was really driven by the traffic. And
I'm talking about communication to drivers, communication to the general public. Don't go out on the roads, which there seem to have been little snippets in a broadcast here or out of a press release there, but never this. You know, getting to the bully pulpit and saying, stay off the roads tomorrow, folks. Did you have that conversation?
No.
And that's the frustration that we're getting from people who call us, who email us. You're looking at people that were covering the 1982 storm, and Atlanta citizens, longtime citizens, that say, we've been through this before. We saw this in 82.
Okay. Wait a minute.
Remember how that turned out. 9, 12, 15-hour drive.
Sure.
The question that we keep hearing over and over, why don't we learn anything in this state? Why is it we're so caught off guard, apparently, every time one of these storms hit?
I think we do need to address that a little bit. Having been through the 2011 experience, which was 4 days, Dale, we are far more activated faster than we ever were in 11. I was alive in 82, but I wasn't leading anything. So the question is, there is no question, if you go back to 2011 and you all pull all of your film, that the first 2 days we didn't do anything, and I take my share of blame. We started sanding at 9 a.m. after the alert on sand and gravel. So we fully mobilized all of our equipment, and we started partnering with the state by 10, 11 a.m. Now, I understand that people are frustrated and angry, but I couldn't stand here knowing that I was here in 11, and everybody thought the first 2 days of 11 was funny. I mean, it was like because it was Sunday night when it happened, 5 inches came, 4 inches came. Everybody knew the first 2 days were off, and then by the third day, I can tell you it wasn't funny anymore. And you all didn't think it was funny. We're in day 1. We're at about hour 16 right now. 120 pieces of state equipment have been mobilized. The National Guard has been mobilized. The city of Atlanta has been running 12-hour shifts. We've been running our spreaders and sanders non-stop. The issue is, and people are going to stop feeling frustration when we get people out of cars on the interstates. And I'll take credit and blame for my statement. We made a mistake by not stopping when people should leave. So I'll take responsibility for that. We should, in lessons learned, because I know folks want to know that we're at least learning from this. Please remind that we're definitely better than we were in 11 and faster.
Still doesn't make a
But,
difference. It should have been prepared.
if we had to do again, we would have said, schools, you go out, you go first. Private sector businesses, you go second. And government goes last. And so I think that would have helped. And we should have been much clearer on our need to access the roads. So that's really where we are.
2011 is it's important to be proactive rather than reactive. You're talking about letting people out in staggered times. Why weren't we taking a more proactive stance?
I think you're
telling people not to go on the
with
road.
all due respect,
We all know that the road needs to be cleared.
your question ignores the facts. We were being more proactive. You're just saying we weren't proactive enough. So we just, hold on, no. You're just saying, no, let's go to your question. We were being more proactive. So we were getting forecasts. I was in communications with the Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, which has a pretty accurate forecasting system. And it wasn't as clear around 4 or 5. We made the decision in the city to start salting and sanding at 9 a.m. and putting the trucks out.
Oh, they
We
lying.
started communicating and partnering with the state by 10 or 11. Now, I'll take the criticism on you should have been doing that at 2, 4, or 6, but to say that we were not far more aggressive than we were in 2011 just isn't true.
But what I meant is, why didn't you tell people to stay home? If the people stayed home, if schools closed, if government offices closed, because we knew the story
And I think
during the day.
I think that criticism is fair. So that's just one that we will have to take. But what I was pushing back on was Dale raised a fair question. He talked about 82, 11, and today. And all I want the people of the city and the region to know is that we're not sitting around twiddling our thumbs. So we'll take the criticism about what should have happened faster, but we definitely have coordinated more than we ever did in 11. We have 120 pieces of equipment from the state. We have the Georgia National Guard called up, and now we just got to get these freeways cleared. You sure can, of
I
course.
know you're saying we're more proactive now than we were in 2011, but the result is the same, and that's where the frustrations are. There are still
Hey,
people
Lori.
sitting for hours
Lori.
on the highways.
Lori, I would-
I'm saying it's not fair to compare that, but
Lori,
it's not matter if it's worse than our kids doing it.
Lori, I would push back on that. I would say the results aren't the same because we're in day one.
Oh
If you
my
go back
God.
and look at
He's
your
so
own
stupid.
reporting, we were nowhere near where we were in day one. In day one, there were people that you're right, and that was a Sunday. You're right. But if you look at our actions last night, the first thing we did was to address children who were on buses. We got 99 buses cleared. Right? So, I mean, I don't mind the heat, but at least I want to break through so that people don't believe that the governor or my last interview last night was at 2 a.m., Lori. So I take that question, but we're in day one, probably hour 17 or hour 2024. And during the 2011 experience, we had media events like this on day 3. So,
Mr. Mayor, can I ask a question of everyone here? Was there anyone in the command center, all of you that were involved in this, that said this morning, or said yesterday morning, we need to shut this down? Did anyone voice that?
we need to shut what down?
We don't need to be at work today. We can close the government. We need to talk to the school boards. They need to close the schools.
Stop. Sit down.
We're going to all be left trying to get home after 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
That was part of the problem there.
No, what I'm asking is, did anyone voice the suggestion that let's shut this down?
We definitely-
Let's not go to work today.
We did, no,
Not
not,
go to school today.
no, hold on 1 second. We did not consider closing government the day before the event.
Yesterday morning.
Can you speak?
No, hold on, wait a minute. Now, yesterday morning the snow came yesterday.
Right. Or
So-
prior to yesterday.
So on yesterday, we stood up our Joint Operations Center at 11 a.m., Dale. So
The
we
snow
stood up
started
the Joint
after
Operations
11.
Center at 11 a.m. And as I said, the state made a decision about sending its employees home. We made a decision about sending ours home. The school systems made it. You had 4 independent decisions. And I've said I think that was a mistake. So if you want to have a conversation about whether the leaders, me as the leader of the city, I'll just talk about myself, should have said, we need to stagger this. Because during the day, Atlanta has 1 million people in it. A million, 1,200,000.
Did anybody say we need to not go in today?
The answer is no.
Why not?
Hold on, wait a minute. I'm answering. The answer from the city perspective is no, because we needed the city's workforce to handle what was going to come. So I can tell you without question, I wouldn't have made the decision. I may have made the decision for non-essential personnel, but we absolutely needed the fire department. We absolutely needed the police department, which had 790 accidents that they handled. So I didn't make that
Couldn't you call
judgment.
them
I'd rather say,
in?
I'll let you know.
Did you personally consider reaching out to the school system, or did any of you consider reaching out to the school systems and coordinating action before? Did that occur to anyone?
Hold on, wait a minute. You know, it's good to be psychic and prescient. We actually had these jobs. We actually did communicate with the APS school system. But we don't communicate to the point where we enforce our will over them. Jonathan, we don't do that. The governor and I communicate, but he doesn't call me up and tell me you need to close the city. So I've put it on the table. I said if there was one thing that I think we could have done more effectively, I think we could have staggered that. But at the same time,
How much BS
we
is
got
this?
1 million people out of the city of Atlanta safely. We got 99 school buses out
This
safely.
is a whole bunch of
And when
bull.
we're done with this press conference, the governor and the people before you.
Hey, get out my refrigerator.
Highways cleared.
How many people are still stranded? If they won't be there, we don't think we need to be going in today, Governor.
No. And it was an initiative that we took about 10 o'clock with regard to state employees. Now, obviously, you can always make better judgments in hindsight. But let's say a what if. What if we called everything off? And the original prognostications about where the storm was going to hit were correct. We would have shut a major city down for a day where businesses could have been in business.